So my question for you is, what does new normal mean for you, and how can one beat the odds today?
Well, first of all, I'm finding it very difficult to call it either the new normal or the new abnormal, because in the abnormality and the way that you address the situation lies your attitude towards what this workplace is becoming slowly. If you continue to think of it as being abnormal, then you're not prepared for it.
That's true.
But if you're looking at it with a view, that's why like Peter Drucker, the famous friend of ours from management, the guru of management, whom all of us love to quote, he said the greatest danger in times of turbulence is not the turbulence; it is to act with yesterday's logic. So now my point is that if you continue to think of the situation as being abnormal, you will deal with it with not much of permanence. You will deal with it with a temporary view. But we must understand that something has changed. In one of my earlier conversations with you, I did say to you that we have pressed the reset and reboot button. So we have to understand that from now on, it'll be like this. There is a famous line in one of the Hindi films, "Aaj se aisa hi hoga." It'll happen like this always. So the point is that the best way to predict the future is to create it. So you instead of trying to be Nostradamus, you try and see what are the things that could logically change. And I see ourselves walking in a path which is got pebbles, streams, all those kind of things. At the end of it, there is darkness. And because there's darkness, you need to shine your headlights further than everybody else to see what's at the other end, which is a little bit of foreseeing the future. But at the same time, you can only take steps that you can see. You can't think too far ahead, and that's how we have to travel our way together. And you have to hold each other's hands. And I love these analogies because they tell you how to tread through this difficult path that we are in. I remember many years ago, you spoke about me having run businesses. I think when we started the Hutchison Telecom in India. And in those days, the brands that we had was Orange and Hutch, and we launched them way back in the 2000s. We were finding it very difficult to deal with this ambiguity, and today we have an ambiguous situation. We don't know what.
Right.
There's no terra firma, as they say. So what do? And we said, let's find an analogy that will help people in the company understand what we are going through. Because people had come from the army, they knew the orders had to be implemented. People had come from multinationals, they knew what is to be done, strategies had been done. But what about the people who are not able to deal with a changing scenario every day? Do we have a license? We don't have a license. Will the fee go up? Will somebody charge us something? Everything was up in the air. So you know Steve Correa, and Steve was my chief of HR at that time, and we racked our brains and we coined a phrase called whitewater rafting.
Okay.
We said that we are on a whitewater raft. So what happens in a whitewater raft? You've got to go from point A to point B, but the river is choppy, it's turbulent, it's not going in a straight line, but you hang in there. You have fellows falling off the boat, you pick them up as a team and bring them back again. Some are getting wet, but you're not losing sight of point B, but you're getting tossed around all the time. But as long as you know that you will be tossed around and you'll reach point B, you'll be fine. Right. And everybody on the boat has a life jacket. So put on your life jackets, get onto the whitewater rafting and keep moving as you can. So you remember in one of my earlier conversations with you, I also said about learning. There is so much that, because of the fact that all of us are experiencing it together, there is so much to learn from each other.
Of course.
And it's not copying, it's what I call honorably adapting from each other.
Getting inspired.
Inspired. So, years ago, we had this famous book by Alvin Toffler called The Future Shock. And he said the illiterate of the 21st century will not be the person who cannot read or who cannot write, but it will be the person who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn.
Yeah.
So And just as, our human bones get stronger when subjected to, all kinds of stress and tension, many things in life actually benefit from stress and disorder and volatility and turmoil. So somebody said the other day, wind extinguishes fire, but wind also energizes fire. So I think when you look at all that, we have lots to do in terms of our resilience, in terms of our optimism, in terms of our self-belief, in terms of leadership. All these qualities are now required double-fold for us to deal with the situation that is at hand. We must not also lose the qualities of emotional intelligence that we have, because this is about the health of people. It's about families. It's about empathy. It's about caring. It's about the fact that, people have moved offices to their homes, and we have to be mindful of that. And therefore, as a society, we've got to understand that in order to beat the odds, you have to go back to fundamentals again.
Right.
Whenever a family is in trouble, it goes and sits in prayer in front of God. Or it goes and sits at the feet and the knees of old people and says, "Kya kare?"
Right.
And they will tell you everything that you knew, but they will tell you that now you need to use it more. So while the fast forward button has been pressed, it has brought forward many things that we had lost. And I think it's back to fundamentals and basics, but at the same time, adjusting to the new normal.
No, wonderfully put, Sandeep. And I noticed you have this beautiful style, what the world of coaching uses, which is visualization. You get people to visualize the future, and you kind of beautifully put your little stories around it. So thank you for doing that. I kind of quite loved it. And White River rafting, again, a beautiful metaphor, is going to stick in my mind, and I'm sure in the minds of our viewers, saying it's okay, we're going to get tossed around. It may be painful, there'll be fear, and there's uncertainty, but let's go with the belief that we have people watching our back, and powers that we perhaps don't even know exist, and our own resilience and emotional quotient will perhaps pull us through. So thank you for saying that. And I heard you say that at the end of it all, this is how we really beat the odds. Go back to the first principles, really. And I do want to kind of jog our viewers a little bit here and say, if you came to this session expecting lots of technology and AI and cryptocurrency and Bitcoins and fourth industrial revolution communication or conversation, well, there you are, a man who's been there and done it, who's really the father of digital telephony, is talking about humanization. And that's so beautiful. So your last 1 or 2 minutes of closing comments on this, Sandeep. Where's your headset?
I want to actually say that you said something very important when we talked about whitewater rafting, and you said we are watching each other's back. I didn't say that, but you said. Right. And that's what it is. If you don't watch each other's back, and if you're not standing for each other and you're not teaming, you will not get onto the other side. Some will be stronger people, some will be better oarsmen. And remember another thing in whitewater rafting, it will not be a straight line from point A to point B. You'll be tossed around. But you'll reach there if you believe you want to reach there. Let me read out a line which has inspired me, and it says that one day even this will be over. One day even this will be over, and we will be grateful for life in many ways we never felt was possible before. So I would like to end by saying that this is really what really drives you, because often when you think you are at the end of something, you're actually at the beginning of something else.
All right, rainbow at the end of dark rain. So thank you so much for saying that, Sandeep, and reinforcing the belief that yes, we are truly all of us in this together.